It is Supernanny Saturday, and today we are diving into one of the most intense families yet, the Goins family. These kids display some of the most extreme emotional outbursts and impulsive behaviors we've ever seen on this show. There's a lot we can learn here, whether you're a parent, want to become one, or you're just here for the drama. And stick around until the end of the video because we will be pulling up where the family is now. And we will also be pulling up exclusive social media pictures and content. You don't want to miss it. Let's grab our beverages and dive in.
Hi, we're the Goins family. I'm Jay.
And I'm Carolee. We have 3 kids. Callan is 6.
That's why I hate my brother so much because he makes me
You don't
sad.
hate your brother.
Colbin is 5. And Cadence is 2.
Mommy so like this, and I do what the kids.
The first thing that jumps out at me are the harsh words coming out of his mouth. When he says, I hate my brother, right here when he says, I thought you loved me, when he talked about the knife and hurting himself. According to the CDC, about 1 in 10 children will be diagnosed with ADHD. And for some of those children, these extreme emotions will be prevalent, and it could be quite scary for the parent. Now, when he said, I hate my brother, did you hear what mom said back? No, you don't. You don't hate your brother. You can say, you didn't like it when your brother did blank, so you blank. Do you need help figuring out how to do blank? The focus is helping them understand where these feelings are coming from so they don't weaponize words to get what they want. It seems as if, and we've only seen the intro here, he's using a lot of these extreme words because he's getting the reaction that he's looking for. He's upset and he knows what button to push.
Ow! Don't! When he doesn't get his way, it's always a battle.
Carolee was struggling on how to handle having a child with ADHD.
I get calls, he's in 1st grade, he's going to detention. I'm having to pick him up from school. The most stressful part is he wants to be good, and he can't be good. I'm kind of at a dead end. I don't know what else to do.
This already got me, and here's why. When mom said he wants to be good, it made me so happy that she's his mom. A typical child struggles with the word no, okay? A child with ADHD, no is like capital letters and screaming behind it. It's so much more intense. So if you don't have a child with ADHD, you just don't get it. And a parent who has to parent through the challenges that come with ADHD, and no, it is not all challenges. Children with ADHD are some of my favorite children to work with because they love so deeply. So the fact that this mother, she gets it and she doesn't hold it against her child and she knows his intentions are pure and good, she's already 10 steps in the right direction.
I worry a lot about their future. If I'm doing the right thing, it scares me.
What scares you about it?
Because obviously we're not doing the right thing. I want to enjoy my kids. It's just been so stressful. I don't want to have to hold my breath every morning when I wake up because I know that it's going to be a hard day.
ADHD is more than just difficulty with sitting still. It's linked to executive functioning difficulties. These are the things that help us to control our emotions, organize tasks, and follow through on instructions. They don't want to misbehave. Their brains are wired differently. They have less activity in their prefrontal cortex. It's not about willpower. It's literally how their brains work.
Listen, Callan, look at me. Stop.
Homework can often be a very big challenge for children who have got ADHD.
You've got so much homework to do.
They find it difficult to pay attention and concentrate for any length of time.
Let's get a couple pages done. Callan, please,
Mum's struggle to get Callan to do his homework for an hour just seemed like a useless task to me.
Let's talk homework with a child that has ADHD, or really any child that hates to do their homework. Is it set up in a way that is digestible? What I mean by that is, as a teacher, if I get up in front of the board and I go, today we're going to learn rotations. This is a 90-degree rotation. I'm bored. And if I'm bored, a child is definitely bored. If a child is bored, then a child with ADHD, they're gone. See ya. They're not even present. They're on another planet. Can mom, before calling Callan over for homework, or any parent, before you call your child over and they're young, take a look at their homework, find the thing that is the most interesting, and then just start like talking about it as you guide your child to the table. You might say something like, hey, Callan, I saw that you were going to be working on turns. Have you ever seen a 360 on a skateboard? He's like, what, a 360? Yeah, that's when the kid jumps off the skateboard, it flips all the way around, and then they land on the skateboard. Can you believe that? What? I want to try that. Then suddenly the child's engaged, right? You're like a little magician, okay? And then you're like, yeah, come on over here. You see this on this paper? And then boom, you're doing the homework. I know that this seems like so much more work, and I wish that I could tell you that it could be easier, but it's not. This is why teachers should get paid more money. I'm going to, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, I'm going to insert a clip of when I was doing spelling words with my son the other day. Now, of course, I'm not going to include his face on it. I don't know if I'm going to put like something over his head, or if I might just cut it so you just see me. But you'll see that I start engaging him in what I like to call playing dumb. Check it out. And then the E. But it's not a T.
It's C.
Not. Oh, tell me what it is.
you,
Feed.
you can't
Thanks
do,
for the help.
You can't do it.
I can't do it because you said it.
Oh!
Then don't say it, because I was going to get it. All right, hold on. Let's go back to feet. You know what? I'll keep the E. I'll keep it. Whatever. I know there's one if I put 3 letters in the front. Don't say it.
Not what they are.
Oh, definitely an S.
10.
Shh. Oh my gosh.
9.
Stra. STREET. Street. Eat. But sometimes, you know it. Sometimes it's an E and sometimes it's an A. I thought you were gonna miss that one, but you knew to change it. And that's
Again!
Nope, we can't do it again. I know that was lots of fun, but we've been doing it for 15 minutes. The main goal of me doing this with him was for him to learn the words. So if that meant that I need to be the one that was like, oh, I don't know, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I do that a lot when teaching. Playing dumb is like my little secret, which isn't so secretive anymore. Now you know the little secret, the little hack, the little tip. Take it. Play dumb with your kids. They love to be the smarter one. And then you're like, oh my gosh, you came up with it?
In the midst of Carol Lee and Callan's struggle, Dad came home. Hi, pleased to meet you. I'm Jo.
How are you doing? I've seen you before.
I know, but I was doing something.
So I'm going to go upstairs and get changed and everything.
And yet he didn't come down until 45 minutes later. So when you come in, you do what?
When I finally decide that I'm hungry, then I come downstairs.
Then I'll stay upstairs for an hour.
He'll stay upstairs for an hour.
Ew, that is not cute. That is not funny. For Dad to come home from work, I get it. You probably want to change, get settled, but to take 45 minutes to do that, and then when asked by Joe Frost why it was so long, him to just say, well, I stayed up there until I got hungry, and then when I get hungry enough, I come down. I'm trying to refrain from so much judgment, but it is coming out of me. Who does that to their wife, who's taking care of his 3 children while she's also pregnant, which we didn't talk about, but yeah, if you've seen the episode, she's also pregnant. I'm interested with the update. Are these 2 still together? That should be interesting, because that wouldn't work for me. Now, granted, this is a reality TV show. It is highly edited. Maybe that joke was taken out of context. It just, as we saw it, I'm not a fan. What do you think?
No, we're gonna get our pajamas on. I've had enough.
Dad might not be hiding out in his room anymore, but he's certainly not any help. Carolee is fighting this situation all on her own.
Let's get it done. Open. I don't know about you, but I am tired. Let's get this done.
And then I saw Carolee brushing Callan's teeth, who's 6 years old, and I knew that I'd seen enough.
Great. So even when Dad is physically present, he's not actually present. He's not helping with anything. He's just not hiding in his room anymore. And now Mom's at the end of the day. We're almost at the parent meeting, the end of observation day. And Mom's trying to brush Callan's teeth, and of course, another battle. Now, Joe makes a comment about Mom brushing his teeth. Oh, he's 6 years old and she's still brushing his teeth. I don't understand that comment personally, because the pediatric dentist that sees my children recommends that I still brush my son's teeth at night before bed, not in the morning so that he can get his own practice, but at night, because making sure that they go to bed with clean teeth is essential, and they just don't do a good enough job. Remember, it's a start behavior, so counting and consequences for brushing teeth aren't going to be as effective. Making it fun, making it engaging, having them have choices, certain toothbrushes, of course they have to, and it's not a choice, but trying to make it as engaging as possible with music. You do it together. There's lots of ideas online on how to help your child to be okay brushing their teeth, and the more you make it a routine, the easier it will get. Let's see, we're here. I know Joe's gonna have a lot to say to Dad. Let's see the parent meeting.
Now, Jay, I was here yesterday observing, and you came home from work and spent at least 45 minutes upstairs. But you're selfish.
Maybe that's my weakness.
Because if you don't speak up, nothing is going to change for you, Carolee.
I need more help.
Hardest thing that Joe told me is that I'm selfish, thinking about maybe myself and my needs before actually taking care of the kids properly. I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of work ahead of me.
Typical Joe does not hold back. She lets Dad know he's being selfish. And I must give him credit. He takes it on the chin. He says he's going to work on it. Mom's relieved because Joe is saying the things that I guess she has felt. I wish she was the one saying it, and I hope she can get to a place where she can negotiate and compromise with her husband without Joe there. Like, yeah, I get it. You need a break after work. How long does that take? Can we come up with a time that works for both of us? And then what are your responsibilities in the home once you get home? Because her job doesn't end all day, all night. They have young children and she's pregnant. Let's get to teaching day.
Go into the sitting room and go, la, 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 la. I wanted to make things really chaotic to see if she could still focus on what she was supposed to be focusing on.
Impossible.
Okay, what's it about?
I have no idea. There was too much going on that I couldn't concentrate on what I was reading.
So imagine how Callan feels when he wants to be good and achieve, but he can't. He feels like he's not in control. He can't.
Personally, I don't think Mom needs this lesson. She seems to have a great understanding that Callan's behaviors are connected to his ADHD and it's not intentional. But I am so happy that Supernanny, the show, the production, everybody who creates the show, decided to put this segment in for the viewers. Because too often you will see immediate judgment from people out in grocery stores, out in restaurants, where they will see a child like Callan, and on the outside, it doesn't look like anything's going on with Callan. You can't see his prefrontal cortex, right? And he's out doing his thing and he misbehaves, and then they go, oh God, you see that kid over there? There's always somebody, you see that kid over there? Oh, so misbehaving. And then they blame the kid, or they get mad, these parents these days. And yes, there are problems with parents being permissive. We do talk about that here on Mommy Breakdown. But in general, can we drop the judgment? Can we not assume that the child is neurotypical? Because you don't know what's going on inside of their brain. You don't know what's going on inside of their lives. And the last thing I want to say before we move on to the next segment is, if you have a child who is not neurodivergent, they are neurotypical, and they come home and they start talking about somebody in their class, and they go, oh, Bert, I don't know why we're going with Bert, but we're going with Bert. Bert at school today, when we were on the playground, he was kicking Sasha, and Sasha was crying, and Bert never listens, and he's always in trouble. At that moment, look at the child and go, oh, it sounds like Bert's having trouble controlling his body. Remember how we talk about people have feelings, and some people, when they feel angry, they will become aggressive. And some people, when they're angry, they cry. And learning how to deal with our emotions is a skill, and it takes practice. And then you say to your child something they're working on, like, you know how you're learning how to read, and Sally in your class, she can read really big words. You were telling me the other day, and you're like, I wish I could read big words. Yeah, well, just like reading is a skill and it takes practice, there are skills that have to do with controlling our body, and it sounds like Bert is still working on that. And when he kicks and stuff, keep your distance and show Bert, what to do when you're angry, because you feel angry too, and you don't feel the urge to hit, but he does, and that doesn't mean he's a bad kid. It just means he's still working on that skill. So that's my little PSA.
Ready for the homework? Give me 5. Because I'm a smart boy.
I'm a smart boy.
Yeah, we've got 3 sets of different homework. You're going to choose which one you want to do first. Mummy's going to go and get a pencil. And then when she comes back, you decide which page you want to do first. Give him a chance to work it out himself.
3 + 2 is 5.
Good.
How many?
Holy cow.
How many?
6.
Ooh,
Is
6.
That is amazing.
Words.
go, Joe, go. We have positive reinforcement. We have chunking. We have some autonomy where he gets to decide which page he's going to do first. If he starts to veer off and lose, his focus, she brings him back. Lots of praise, lots of encouragement, keeping the pace going, and also being silly, I want to mention, is great for all children. The way she falls on the couch. Oh my gosh, you did that whole thing. How many pages did you do? Oh, I feel motivated. It's go, Joe, go. Yes, not much to add to this. It was lovely.
I need a break.
This has given him a chance to understand exactly what's going on in your world when he's at work, Carolee.
I'm tired.
Sorry you had a harder day.
You need to step up. Step up.
Right.
She wants to hear what you can do with her to improve the situation.
I am so glad that Joe is here, because she is not just helping the kids with discipline, she's helping with the parents, which will help the children. Dad to step up, and for mom to be more assertive and communicate and let him in so that he could be there for you. And a suggestion I'd like to give for all of us, because we will all come across someone who is struggling, like a friend that just had a baby, someone who's grieving, someone who's sick. And it's very easy to just text them, let me know if you need anything, or call them up, let me know if you need anything. That puts it on the person who needs help to then request what they need. Instead, be specific about what you can help with and make sure it's okay. So you say something like, hey, I'm making some extra tacos tonight. Is it all right if I drop some at your house? The same way that if you look at a primary caregiver and you go, hey, what can I help with? Then that person has to go, okay, these are all the things that need to be done, and then I'm going to explain this one, and they might not know how to do this. No, just go, hey, I see there's a lot of dishes. Are you cool if I go do those? Or just do the dang dishes. Do the thing, because if they then have to ask you what it is, you're putting it on them. Take the initiative and be specific about what you want to help with so that the other person can receive it. If you truly want to help the person, come up with the idea and be the helper. During the last portion of the episode, Joe introduces snack jars. The kids are constantly asking for a snack, and it becomes a behavior issue. So she works it into the schedule where the kids decorate their jars, and every day they get to put in some items that they would like to eat that day. One less thing for mom to think about. And speaking of all the things that mom needs to think about, later in the episode, Joe creates a simulation for dad to carry all of the things that mom carries. Weights for each of the children, a weight for cooking, a weight for cleaning, a weight for the pregnancy, and dad is carrying that for an extended amount of time so he can see how difficult that is. He comes around to say, yeah, I wanted to take it off and I couldn't take it off, and acknowledges that that is a difficult job for his wife to do. It actually makes me think of, those pregnancy simulations where they put it on the men and then they scream like cramps or contractions. That's what it made me think of. There was one intense scene where Callan has another tantrum where he is told no. I will link it in the description if you'd like to see any of this without any interruptions. But for now, let's get to where the family is now. The Goins family aired in February of 2007. The location was Salt Lake City, Utah. Carolee, we know, was 2 months pregnant in the episode, and she gave birth to a baby boy named Kyson Goins on July 19, 2007, and she became a dental hygienist. Something I found online was this project made by Cadence, the little girl that was in the episode. So this was when she was obviously older. She made it when she was in school. I thought it was pretty darn adorable. Some things people don't know about me, she put on there that I was on a reality TV show in 2006. So it seems like it was something that was positive for her. This is her later on in her life with braces, her hero, and so sweet. Her hero is her parents because they help me when I ever help me when, well, it's a kid. When I ever help, they care for me, they are helpful, and they help me when I'm down. She also has one all about her family. So this gives us some insight on the family from her perspective. These are the places that she's gone on trips with her family. One cool thing is that we were on Supernanny, and she was 2, almost 3 at the time. Next up is Callan's Facebook, and we have some photos here. And this is Dad's Facebook. He has quite a few pictures of the kids, but they're older photos, not up-to-date photos. And here's Colvin's Facebook. He has quite a few pictures as well. He has, I don't know if he's still with this girl anymore, but this was in December of 2024, and he seems really proud of his girlfriend and happy. He has a picture of just her there. I love my girlfriend so much. Lastly, we have Carolee, which is Mom. Unfortunately, Mom doesn't have any photos other than this profile picture, but she did write, "Be the reason someone smiles today." She seemed on the episode to have such a kind heart. She still does. I did find her LinkedIn, which says that she's still in Salt Lake City, Utah. It says that she's still a dental hygienist. And the last thing I wanted to show you was this article called Nanny's Visit is Super. It came out, it's a Utah article. It came out right after they were on Supernanny. And the reason why I found it was interesting is because she shares in it that her husband didn't want to do it, and the producers had to convince him. I found that pretty interesting. I could tell that he wasn't that into it. I'm glad he was supportive of his wife who did want the help. And then at the end of the article, they talk about, well, what's working, right? How did it go after they were on the show, according to Mom? And in this article, she said it has definitely made things better. And she talks about how Joe being able to reinforce that a warning will go to timeout was helpful. And it's not just the children who have changed. She admits that she and her husband have learned a lot too. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. If you are raising a child with ADHD or autism or any behavioral challenge, we're talking about toddlers and teenagers in general, there is no one solution, but there is consistent effort. Research suggests that getting it right only 30 to 50% of the time will create a strong bond between the parent and child for healthy development. Now it's your turn. Have you or someone you know struggled with ADHD? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed today's content, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you next time.